The following is a special Wayne Hills Television sports presentation.
Hello and welcome to the Gifford Gymnasium as we broadcast from our very own Wayne Hills TV studio for today's girls basketball matchup that features the Fairlawn Cutters and your Patriots of Wayne Hills. Alongside Jason Hook and Jake Talarico, I am Luki Anuzi as we bring you this matchup. So we have a quick recap of the last two games where we won versus Lakeland Thursday 31-25 and lost yesterday at West Milford 41-27. So Jason, I'm going to go to you for a quick, more in-depth recap of our last game against West Milford.
So in our last game against West Milford, we lost, unfortunately, 41-27, with the highest scorers being Shannon Ty with 6 points, Sam Graff with 3 points, and Sarah Park with 5 points. You know, an unfortunate loss here for this Patriots team, and hopefully they can bounce back in this game.
So against Fairlawn, a team that we have played before and we have won against, so this could be a much easier game for us. So now we're going to take a look at key players for today's game. Jake, I'm going to go to you first. Who is your key player?
My key player for today's game is Lily Weltman. Lily Weltman on the season has a total of 44 points, 17 twos, 2 threes, and 4 free throws, and that's playing 10 games this season. She's only a sophomore for the Patriots, and she plays guard, and she's just been an all-around great player on defense especially. She usually guards the point guard, which is usually the best player for the opposing team. She's just been a great player all around for the Patriots.
My key player for today's game was the senior Kat Lepore. She has 51 points on the season so far, off of 10 two-pointers and 5 three-pointers. An all-around great player. You know, she'll grab those rebounds, she'll get those blocks. We saw a few games ago she had that amazing two-handed just snatch block, and that was something big that really shifted momentum as they went on to win that game.
And now my key player is number 10, Shannon Ty. Shannon Ty has really come up and really upped her skill and performance in this season, over the course of the season with the Patriots. A great defender that's really slept on her defensive ability, but again, we've seen her offensive ability, and it's great, and it's only getting better as the season goes along. And as a sophomore, she has a lot more time with this team and is soon to be a future star. So before we get this game started, we had a chance to hear from Mr. DeLolo with a winter sports review and a spring sports preview on this special edition of In the Paint.
I'm Mr. DeLolo, Assistant Principal of Athletics, Health and Physical Education, and Athletic Director is a more traditional title as well. It's a great question, Tyler. I would say that some of the key changes are structurally, functionally. You know, we went from 3 seasons in every other year that I've worked in athletics, which has been for a couple of decades. And to my knowledge, have we never had this type of change, to 4 seasons. So we had a fall season, abbreviated and altered. We had a winter 1 season. We're about to start a winter 2 season, finishing up a winter 1 season, and then we'll have a spring season, right? In addition to the open summer period that we usually have. So that's one of the functional differences about what our current circumstances are. Also, you know, with that meant the movement of sports that traditionally takes place during specific times at different times of the year, and also, you know, what student athletes could participate in when. But on a more personal level, I'm sure the greatest difference is no surprise to anybody, which is the protocols and procedures that had to be put in place, from limiting spectators to not having them in the beginning of the season to then having them under certain circumstances, to mask wearing, social distancing, when you can and can't have masks off, not being able to use locker rooms, where you can and can't go to the bathroom, how many people can and can't be on a court or a field at a given time, and all the interesting movements that had to take place in the process. Certainly a lot of moving parts and a lot of flexibility was needed and continues to be needed. You know, one of the most challenging things from my specific position is just the number of times we've had to move games and adjust accordingly for that, as well as, you know, when COVID issues did arise, having to put groups of teams or whole teams on quarantine for periods of time, means that you have to obviously adjust on the fly, so to speak. It's a great question. I'm sure for everybody it's a little bit personalized, it's a little bit different, but maybe there's nothing more normal about our daily lives than the pastime of athletics, for high school students, for adults, for children, for teenagers, I would take a full cross-section of the population and think that you could identify amongst them a great sense that the American pastime of athletics, whether that's watching on TV or online or participating, is certainly a key element. I think the other thing about why so many were so eager or continue to be so eager is because, I'm sure you could speak, Tyler, to this better than I can, as well as I can, being at home, not being able to do the types of things you might want to do activity-wise, physical fitness-wise and such. And then the fun aspect, of course, the enjoyment side. So I think there's a lot that goes into the rationales of why, and it's probably individualized for a lot of people, but I think it has a rippling effect of people seeing us, whether that's on our Wayne Hills YouTube TV or in 1,000 other arenas, courtside or field side in the past, and say, this is what it means to be back and normal and adjusted to, our expectations of what seasons and days to days and school years look like. That's like asking a parent what their favorite child is. Which of the kids are their favorites. I will tell you personally, not everyone knows, but several do, that I coached it and played tennis. So I coached girls and boys tennis for many years, and I played as well. But I had a whole host of sports I was interested in. I come from a long family of several brothers who are athletes in a variety of different sports growing up as well. So this sounds like a cagey answer to a very specific question, but it is true. I actually really, really love the diversity of watching different sports in different seasons and being able to, in the winter, be courtside or strip side or whatever that might be, and kind of the diversity of the sports that take place in the winter, but also to be outside and have my cap on just like everybody else and be able to be at baseball and softball or the soccers or football or whatever else it might be. So tennis has been a true love of mine, passion for a lifetime, but I enjoy the diversity of it all. The work, Tyler, that you, Mr. Hookstray, and your whole staff at Wayne Hills TV has done this year, especially in this winter season, has been so exceptional. I had the opportunity to, not only stop by, as you know, and see you guys in action several times. That not everybody gets to see the back end of what you guys do in the studio every afternoon that you're supporting us, but to be able to then watch real time, not only from my office and courtside, but also to see the number of people who are watching out of state, in state, in our neighborhood, and all over the place. Hundreds of people tuning in, and from other schools that were playing, and for having them have that opportunity to do so free and without charge and etc. And have it commentated and all of that. It's just been really, really remarkable. This is my 20th year as an educator. I've never seen anything like this, and I just really commend you, Tyler, and the whole of your staff, along with Mr. Hookstray and the support network, to putting this together. Has really been exceptional. So thanks for your time and thanks for the interview. I appreciate that.
This broadcast is brought to you in part by Positano Pizza, the finest Italian cuisine and pizzeria. Show us your Wayne Hills student ID to get 2 slices of pizza or a bowl of pasta plus a drink for only $5.
welcome to Gifford Gymnasium at Wayne Hills High School for today's Big North Conference matchup between the visiting Fair Lawn Cutters and your Wayne Hills Patriots. Today's contest is being conducted according to the rules of the NJSIAA. These rules provide for fair competition among players. Spectators can help promote good sportsmanship by observing the rules of fair play. Any verbal, written, or physical conduct related to race, gender, ethnicity, disability, sexual orientation, or religion shall not be tolerated, could subject the violator to ejection, and may result in penalties being assessed against your team. It is expected that all spectators will demonstrate good sportsmanship and will do nothing to jeopardize the safety or comfort of the players, coaches, officials, or other spectators. Also a reminder that all tobacco products are prohibited on school grounds. Ladies and gentlemen, due to the circumstances of COVID-19, we ask that you please remain socially distanced at least 6 feet apart at all times and wear a mask over your nose and mouth at all times. Thank you and enjoy the game. First, let's introduce the starting lineup for the visiting Cutters. Senior guard, number 3, Amanda Duran. Senior guard, number 5, Mia Adler. Senior guard, number 10, Sophia Pickett. Senior guard, number 14, Haley Conklin. And senior guard, number 22, Melanie Beisel. And the Cutters are coached by Brian McCourt, assistant coach Dr. McQuaid. Once again, the Fair Lawn Cutters. And now for your Wayne Hills Patriots starting lineup. Sophomore guard, number 3, Lily Weltman. Sophomore guard, number 10, Shannon Ty. Junior guard, number 20, Sarah Park. Senior forward, number 5, Katarina Lepore. And senior guard, number 14, Sam Graff. And the Patriots are coached by Todd Green, assistant coach Lucas DiMatulis. Once again, your Wayne Hills Patriots. The officials for today's game are Emma and Scott Rush. Now, ladies and gentlemen, will you please rise and remove your caps for the playing of our national anthem.
And we are back once again to the Gifford Gymnasium. So now let's take a look at our starting 5 for Wayne Hills. We have number 3, Lily Weltman, number 5, Katarina Lepore, number 10, Shannon Ty, number 14, Sam Graff, and number 20, Sarah Park for their starting lineup. And for the Fair Lawn Cutters, we have number 3, Amanda Duran, number 5, Mia Adler, number 10, Sophia Pickett, number 14, Haley Conklin, and number 22, Melanie Peiser. You see the Patriots still in their huddle line. Just to note that this game will actually be the last game broadcasted by us. The next girls' game is going to be away, and even though the next boys' game is at home, we will only have the live stream and no commentary. So final basketball commentary from us for the season as the season comes to a close. Final 2 games happening today and Thursday for both the boys and girls basketball team, but we will be back for the spring season and even gonna finish out the winter season with wrestling as well. And this game is underway with Weltman inbounding into Sam Graff. And then passes to Ty. To Graff. Now back to Park. Still passing around now. And the Ty. And Graff charges in. Try putting up the layup shot, goes off the bottom of the basket, and Fairlawn gets a rebound.
Yeah, unfortunately, Sam Graff not likely to miss layups like that. She is a great scorer, especially on the inside. Unfortunately, she just couldn't get that one to go there, and we will most likely see her step it up, maybe score a lot more inside shots later this game.
So now it's with Duran, who passes over to Pickett. Now to Picer. Pickett passes to Conklin. Back to Pickett, charges in. And no shot up. Trying to keep it in bounds, but Sam Graff swats it down.
Yeah, Patriots playing really good defense there. Fairlawn cannot get anything moving besides on the outside of the three-point line there.
Yeah, this is a very good defense that we've seen so far this season from the Wayne Hills Patriots. A lot of hustle and motivation that we've seen on the offensive side of the court.
There's the 5-second violation there. Now Hills inbounds it instead. Give it to the Poor. Now the Ty just moving around the outside of the three-point line. And now Weltman charges in, puts up the layup shot, no good. Excuse me, the push-up shot, no good. Now it's with Ty, pass it over to Weltman, takes the three-point shot, and off the rim, no good, and it's rebounded by Fairlawn.
Wilton's second shot there on that same drive just could not get anything to go in, as the first layup hit off the front of the pit, off the back of the rim, and that hit off the front of the rim.
Conklin's shot for Fairlawn, no good, rebounded by Kat Lepore for Wayne Hills.
That Kat Lepore, the biggest player on this team, and plays very well underneath. That's her second rebound already this game.
Pass to Park, gets to Graff. Pass to Park in the paint, pushes up a shot, and it's good. First points of the game. And Wayne Hills takes a 2-0 lead. Adler's pass to Pickett, and it's a travel on Sophia Pickett.
Yeah, that is the second turnover we've seen so far for the Cutters. That's something they really got to step up on. The first one was earlier in this first quarter with the 5-second violation, and now a travel there. And that's something they really got to watch out for, as the call was on number 10, Sophia Pickett, the senior.
I'm going to say a foul on Sarah Park, and that's going to lead to an inbound for Fairlawn.
Not very often you see loose ball fouls, but in the boys' game a few days ago, we saw a few loose ball fouls, and right now we saw that one from Sarah Park. Not a very common thing you see in the game of basketball, but when you're being a little too aggressive there, you need to watch out where your hands are, where your body is, because it will a lot of the time not work in your favor.
It's Conklin. Skyen has the ball stolen. But Graff, he gives it to Weltman, puts up a shot, and it is good. 4-0 Wayne Hills.
Weltman's third shot of the game finally lands in there as another fast break for the Patriots. And their defense is definitely helping them out so far as they haven't allowed a point, and that is another forced turnover there by the Patriots.
And now Sam Graff to take a 3-point shot off the rim, no good, and it's going to be rebounded by Malkassian. Long pass to Conklin. Tries to get around Park, and she can't, and Wayne Hill's able to bring it back down and regain possession once again. Laporte's pass to Ty for 3. Off the rim again, no good, and rebounded by Malkassian. And her shot no good, blocked by Kat Laporte.
Another great block there from Kat Laporte. She's been getting a lot of great swats on the defensive end so far this season. Definitely one of the better defenders on this team, and also a great rebounder as well, as that rebound from the Cutters will now tie them with the Patriots, both with 4 rebounds apiece so far.
He passes to Malkassian, charges in. Shot off the backboard, no good, rebounded by Laporte. Gives it to Weltman, shot is good, 6-0 Wayne Hills.
That is 4 points total for Lily Weltman, taking the most shots on the team in 4, and now has 4 points early in the game.
Conklin shoots for 3, and just like that, it's once again a 1-possession game. Weltman, great way to keep it in bounds there. Now a 3-point shot from Laporte is good. 9-3 Wayne Hills.
Yeah, Lily Weltman had to keep her feet in there, and she flips it right out to Shannon Ty there, and Ty sees a wide open Kat Laporte, and she's been making those 3-pointers so far this season. That is her 6th so far in this year, and that is something that she's been thriving with so far, and that's something that she has definitely been showing off in her skill set.
As we just saw there, a 3-point shot from Haley Conklin makes it 9-6 Wayne Hills. Grab passes to Laporte, who tries getting it to Park, who's in the paint, ready for the shot there. And we see Malkassian charging in. It looks like there's going to be a foul on Kat Laporte there. Now we see a couple substitutions. Weltman and Park go out. And we see Sydney Lasario and Bree McMullen come in for Wayne Hills. And for Fairlawn, we see Romy Shalom coming into the game for the first time, and Amanda Duran returning to the court. She was in the starting lineup and took the bench from Cassian before. Shalom passes to Duran. It looks like they're going to call a foul on Bree McMullen.
Yeah, Bree McMullen played great defense there and seemed a little confused after that, but Coach Green also probably didn't agree with that call as he gave her knuckles after that.
It's a jump ball.
Looks like we have a replay from earlier so far. We had that 3-pointer from Kat Laporte off of the save from Lily Weltman. As you can see, she almost steps out of bounds. That she bounces it over Shannon Ty, flips it to Kat Laporte, and she is money from that 3-point line. There's really no stopping this team from behind the line. They've definitely thrived with that so far this season, and going into this game, they're definitely gonna see a lot more.
Yeah, I love the simple plays that the Patriots always make, like Lily Weltman saving that ball from going out of bounds just caused that 3-point made by Kat Laporte.
Another 3-point shot for Wayne Hills there. 12-6 the score. And now it's stolen by Fairlawn.
That's going to be timeout there from Coach Green and the Patriots as they are 12 points to Fairlawn 6 with only 30 seconds left in this first quarter. This has definitely been an interesting game as we had that 3-point shot earlier from Kat Lepore, and we've seen a lot of great shots. As you can see, swings it over. Kat Lepore, the long pass again. She is just on her game so far, and that's something that, is very excited to see what she can do for the rest of the game, as that would be her 7th three-pointer, and I believe that will be her 57th point this year in her senior season.
And speaking of points, one thing I forgot to bring up is that the leading scorer this year, Sarah Park, in the last game against West Milford, cracked 100 points, and she came into this game with 100 points on the dot.
Yes, she's definitely an all-around great player, and scoring definitely seems to be one of the prominent points in her skill set. And, with that 100-point mark, she's really showing that, she's a great leader, a great scorer, and someone you really love to see, just go out there and have fun on that team.
Now we see another 3-point shot there from Bree McMullen, makes it 15-6.
Yeah, leaving Bree McMullen wide open is not a good choice. Bree McMullen does not get a lot of playing time, but on senior night she also had a pretty good game, and leaving her open is just not a smart thing as she drains that 3.
There's going to be a blocking foul there on Kat Lepore, her 2nd of the game. And that's something that, she's going to have to watch out for. With the first quarter almost at its end, 2 fouls already. You could be in foul trouble later in the game, and that's not something you want to see from one of the better players on this Patriots team.
And as the clock ticks down, that'll be the end of the first quarter. Wayne Hills with the lead 15-6. So now before the second quarter starts, we're going to take a look at the replay of Bree McMullen's 3-point shot.
Yeah, as you can see, we have Sam Graff flips over to Bree McMullen, another player you don't want to leave wide open, as right from the corner she hits that, and it is perfect. There's no doubt about it. Once it left her hands, that was, almost automatically in. You knew it was going in, and that's a great play by the Patriots, and she's just a great player, a great shooter, and that's something, that we've seen earlier so far this game, and that we're possibly going to see later on in the game.
Yeah, Bree McMullen, only 12 points on the year, hits that 3. She actually only has 2 threes along with 3 twos, but that 3 pushes her to 15 points total. And then Katarina Lepore has 2 threes early in the game. Usually Katarina Lepore, you see her underneath more, especially on defense. Already has multiple blocks this game, but hit 2 threes already from that left side of the court. And then Lily Weltman with 4 points so far, and then Brianna McMullen obviously with that 3. All around a pretty good offensive game by the Patriots, and defense has been completely shut down besides allowing the 2 threes early.
Very well put. Again, 15-6 the score now going into the second quarter. We also saw 2 starters from Fairlawn return to the court, Mia Adler and Sophia Pickett. Let's see if they remain in for the start of the second quarter.
Yeah, Patriots with 4 fouls and Fairlawn with none, but it does not show on the scoreboard, as there really have not been any shooting fouls. There's been no foul shots so far, but the 4 fouls definitely catch up to you, as if you only get 2 more, you will be in the bonus, and Fairlawn definitely needs that bonus, being down by 9.
Cesario to Lepore, now to Ricky, who comes in to start the second quarter. Pass to Park, now to McMullen. Lepore now tries to make a move, but gets a great pass to Park, overshoots it a bit, and it ends up rebounded by the Cutters.
Just a little bit too hard there by Sarah Park. Sarah Park, obviously, as we said earlier, 100 points on the year, has 2 points only this game, but definitely a great finisher underneath, as she's almost money on all those shots.
There's Amanda Duran with the pass to Conklin. And they're going to say Pickett touched it last. It goes out of bounds. Wayne Hills to throw it in. Sorry, Park charges it up, gets to this area. And now it's McMullen, who is charged by number 10, Sophia Pickett from Fairlawn.
Yeah, Brie McMullen, as she draws that foul there, the first foul of the game so far for the Cutters, as that puts both teams at a combined 5 fouls. You know, it's been a bit of a cleaner game than we've seen in the past few girls' games, but you know, those 4 fouls from Wayne Hills are going to add up later on in this half. And, you know, you don't want to see that, especially, you know, giving Fairlawn a bit more momentum going into that second half.
Now a 3-point shot from Pickett off the rim, no good. So the great rebound from Fairlawn amounts to no points, and they give it right back to Wayne Hills as Kat Lepore came down with that last rebound. And Ricky's pass to McMullen rejected by Mia Adler. Nonetheless, Hills still inbounds it, and now it's with Lasario, who charges into the paint, puts up a shot, no good, rebounded by Ricky off the rim again, and now fighting for it is Lepore and Adler, it looks like. And they're going to give it to Fairlawn on this one.
Yeah, Kat Lepore in there once again underneath the basket. Seems like she's always there grabbing a rebound or putting some effort to grab a rebound, and she forces that jump ball, and the next one will go to the Patriots.
Cassian. Pass that to Pickett. And overshot there. They get the rebound, and now Haley Conklin does the pass to Duran. And again, no good. And they're going to give it to Wayne Hills as they make some substitutions. McMullen and Lasario check out, and the starting 5 stay on, are back on.
Expect to see Sam Graff come out in this later half of the second quarter here and just drive into the lane. And at this weak Cutter defense, they have been pretty much tortured all game by the Patriots.
Well, I'll give them this much. They've managed to keep it scoreless within the first 3 minutes. But again, on the downside of that is that Fairlawn also hasn't scored either. Weltman passes to Ricky, now to Sarah Park. Back to Ricky, and her pass to Kat Lepore just out of reach.
You know, the Patriots have been keeping it low with the turnovers, but that is their second so far this game to the Cutters' 4. And, you know, that's something that you always got to look out for. That's something you always got to pay attention. You can't be making no-look passes. You can't be making one-handed passes. You always have to look straight at your target. You got to use both hands for the most accurate passes you can get, and, you know, try to reduce the amount of turnovers.
Definitely a rush shot there from Pickett. Missed the basket, and Wayne Hill's able to keep it in bounds and acquire the rebound there, but to no avail. And Fairlawn calls a timeout.
Shannon Ty saved that ball. Catherine Port grabbed it, just overshot Sam Graff going down the court. It was actually a 3-on-1. They had Sam Graff, Sarah Park, and Lily Wellman all going down the court. But unfortunately, that pass could not connect with Sam Graff. Definitely would have produced some type of points there, whether it was a 3 or a layup.
So this is a matchup between the Patriots and the Cutters, both teams with a pretty experienced roster, as the Patriots have all seniors and juniors except for the 2 sophomores, Weltman and Ty, and the Cutters have all seniors and juniors except for sophomore Melanie Malkasian, which is, you know, great to see a very experienced team on both sides, but also you like to see how the Patriots have two sophomores on their team, kind of showing off how their future is very bright, as I believe Lily Weltman has 4 points so far this game, and Shannon Ty is the second leading scorer for the Patriots team with 84. So that's definitely going to be a great future for this next 2 years for the Patriots girls team.
Yeah, Lily Weltman, my key player for today's game, a great defender. Usually is always covering the point guard, as she is now been in the starting lineup for the past couple games, and has the second most points on the team tonight with 4 as she's back in the game.
The starting 5 still remains out on the court for the Patriots. Pickett gets the pass to Melissa Violette, who just came in for Fairlawn. Mia Adler's pass. Now to Conklin, charges in, and her shot is no good. Fairlawn trying to get the rebound there, but Kat Lepore and Lily Weltman fighting for it. Get it back for Hills. Shannon Ty ends up with it. Her shot no good, but rebounded by Sarah Park. Thrown out to Sam Graff, wide open. 3 no good, rebounded by Fairlawn.
Sam Graff completely wide open. Usually you always see her make that wide open 3, as a lot of teams really do test her on that 3-point shot, but just cannot get that to fall in.
Now Kat Lepore gets it back once again for Wayne Hills, and ball hit up there for a botched pass, and somehow Wayne Hills gets it back. 3-point shot from Sarah Park is good. 18-6, Wayne Hills with the lead.
Yeah, I mean, we saw that ball get just like popped into the air there, and you know, somehow they were luckily able to save it, and you know, that was a blessing in disguise, as we saw that 3-pointer from Sarah Park, a great wide open shot. You know, there's a reason why she's the leading scorer on this team. She rarely misses those shots, especially if you leave her wide open. She's gonna almost always make it, and she's a great player to watch.
Yeah, finally ending the drought of having no points scored by either team in this whole entire quarter.
And some more points up on the board. A 2-point shot there from Lily Weltman makes it 20-6.
Lily Weltman, 6 points of the game, having one of her better scoring games all year, as that unfortunately is a foul on her.
Yeah, we saw Lily Weltman go for that steal there, but she will be called for the foul, as I believe we have a replay of the 3-pointer from Sarah Park. If we, oh, sorry, not yet apparently. We got
This actually restarts back up. You see Fairlawn trying to take the shot, but it is blocked by Sarah Park. And Shannon Ty gets the ball back for Wayne Hills. And again, Graff was left wide open, but charging in, she was covered by some defenders, and she put up a shot. It was no good. Now rebounded by Fairlawn. And we hear the whistle blowing. It's going to be a foul on Wayne Hills.
As we see the stoppage of time, now we have the replay of the 3-pointer from before. As you can see, Kat Lepore right to Sarah Park. She is wide open, takes that one dribble in, gets the easy 3-pointer, and she is money from that shot. A lot of players on this Hills team are just great from the 3-point shot, and that's something you love to see. A lot of the game going on right now has been more towards the 3-point line, as it used to be more of an inside game. Now people are pushing it back. There's players like Stephen Curry, Damian Lillard, who are taking these deep 3-point shots, and it's great to see the high school game following after their footsteps.
Yeah, seems to be a lot more fouls called here on the Patriots, as that is another foul called on Lily Weltman, her second of the game, as she comes out now for Ashley Zito. But this will produce now the first foul shot of the game for both teams.
And that shot is up, no good. Wayne Hills gets the rebound. That's Shannon Ty. His pass to Graff was blocked, but she still ends up with it. Trying to put up a shot, and it was shoved right down.
Sarah Park there was wide open on the outside where she just hit her 3 from earlier. Sam Graff did not look up and see her, unfortunately. Definitely would have expected Sarah Park to make that shot, as she is very good from deep.
And a nice trick play thrown in there. Great inbound from Graff right to Park, and she puts it right up for an easy 2 points. 22-6, Wayne Hills with the lead. This is Romy Shalom. Pass to Conklin for 3, off the rim, no good. Rebounded by Park, but Park lost it. Conklin gets it back, and her shot no good, but the rebound by Violette also no good, and rebounded now for the Patriots by Sarah Park. And Lucido puts it up, shot no good, rebounded by Tide, who manages to stay in, puts up a shot, can't fall down. Now Park gets the rebound, hooks it over her head, no good, rebounded by Fairlawn. And Haley Conklin was fouled after she got that rebound.
Yeah, that was an interesting turn of events. We saw 3 straight rebounds there from the Patriots after those 3 missed shots from Lucido, Park, and I believe Lepore. Unfortunately, there was a foul called. Going to the line right now is number 14, Haley Conklin, as that'll be the 8th foul so far this half, as time is running out, and luckily for the Patriots, there won't really be enough time for them to send this Cutters team into the double bonus, which is a good thing to see, as they will not go to the line for 2 points.
Yeah, you usually always see the team with more fouls now, 8 to 2. Patriots have way more fouls, as Ashley Lucido misses that layup. But usually, the team with more fouls is always the one that is losing, but it's definitely not showed, as Patriots have a very nice 16-point lead.
And yet another foul on Wayne Hills, and Carly Marks, who recently checked into the game, was fouled, and she'll take a trip to the line with 24.5 seconds left.
That one will be on number 10, the sophomore Shannon Ty. Great player for this team, great defender. Unfortunately, that will be a foul on her, as you know, they're being a little too aggressive, as we see Jenna Lewis now in the game. She hasn't gotten a lot of playing time so far this season, but I believe she's a junior, and hopefully we can see her get a lot more playing time next year, as there will be a lot more opportunities for her.
Sarah Park charges in, puts up the shot, bit too much power on it, but it falls down into the hands of Sam Graff. McClellan passes to Park. Trying to find one last open shot. Sam Graff puts it up, and that'll end off the second quarter.
Sam Graff there with the buzzer beater. Unfortunately, she was struggling earlier, but at the end of this first half, she did get that, hopefully, a momentum shift, as she is one of the better players on this team, a great scorer and a great all-around player, and you'd like to see her turn things around in this second half.
Yeah, a couple of players to point out. Katherine Lepore and Lily Wellman both with 6 points. Kat Lepore, 2 threes early in that first half, and a couple of fouls got her out of the game. I'm sure she'll definitely be back. And then Sarah Park, the leading scorer for this team, with 7 points, hitting that 3 we replayed earlier. Just a great game on offense for the Patriots, and on defense, they've had a lot of fouls throughout the game. It just, the Cutters cannot capitalize on any of the opportunities they have gotten. With a total of Patriots, they have 8 fouls in this first half. They just very sloppy by them, but obviously it does not show on the scoreboard.
I mean, despite all the fouls, Patriots were able to hold the Cutters to no points in that second quarter there. All 6 points came in the first quarter from 2 3-point shots from Haley Conklin. And the Wayne Hills offense able to quadruple the score of Fairlawn. They scored 24-6 Wayne Hills, and that's going to end off the first half, but don't go anywhere. Second half action when we come back.
Yeah, what are you all talking about? Like, we miss a lot of land. But every time you catch a pass, where are most of you putting the ball? You're either putting it down way too fast, or you're putting it over your head, and they're being pretty aggressive, right? They're just walking underneath you. So you have to keep the ball here, and you have to pivot. So don't use your pass fake. I haven't really seen a pass fake. Not zero. Right? But defensively, what's the most important thing that you need to stop? Well, in general, what do you have to stop first? Stop the ball. So like some of you are leaving, that makes me sad that none of you knew that answer. So some of you are just following your girl around, just watching somebody drive it late in. So if it's not your girl, you have to guard it anyway. You got to guard it anyway. We're trying to think of ideas that we can maybe get better opportunities to score. So we're going to try press. 3/4 court, not trapping the first pass. Okay? So it's going to be their ball at half court. So they'll be over here on this side coming towards you. They're going to be right here. Haley, you're going to be like just on our side of half court. Amanda and Carly, like a little bit above the 3-point line. And Sophia and Melissa, you're going to be kind of on this, whatever volleyball line. Okay? I'm writing upside down there. Okay. So the idea is, Haley, when it comes across, when it comes across, you want to go trap with either Amanda here or Carly here. You don't have to do anything other than stand in the middle and wait till she gets into one of these areas. Does that make sense? So let her go there. If the ball gets thrown over Amanda's head or over Carly's head, Carly, you're going to turn and go trap with Sophia. Amanda, you would turn and go trap with Melissa.
You gotta ask your question.
So we're trying to trap in these 4 corners.
And we are back again with our halftime segment, halftime with Hittinger. So hello, Mr. Hittinger. This is Luca Iannuzzi. Can you hear me? Unfortunately, it appears we can't hear you.
Amanda, you would have like a triangle right here. Carly, you would have the same triangle on this side. Does that make sense? So all we're trying to do is trap in these 4 corners. If the ball gets thrown in the middle,
for the first half, we saw a couple of outliers when it came to statistics, especially rebounds, with Hills having 16 of them, and I believe the Cutters having 8 of them. So with the doubled amount of rebounds for this Patriots team, that's definitely been something that's been leading them to this lead that they have right now. And they've also held Fairlawn to 0 points in that second quarter, which was definitely something interesting. A lot of great defense being played, a lot of great offense being played. You know, we've seen a lot of great defenders on this team, such as, Lepore and Weltman, just to name, 2 very good defenders, 2 players with amazing hustle and motivation on this team.
Yeah, it's a couple things that Cutters did not capitalize on were the 8 fouls the Patriots had in that first half. They just could not get a foul shot. They could not capitalize on the opportunity to get the ball back when they could, as they only scored in that first quarter. They made 2 threes pretty early on and just could not get anything else going, as they missed many layups underneath and missed pretty easy shots that you expected a team like them to make. But the Patriots then took that opportunity, grabbed the rebounds, as they had 16 compared to the Cutters' 8, and just completely took over the game, as they have a very nice 16-point lead.
Yeah, it's definitely been an interesting first half to watch, and unfortunately we cannot get connection to Mr. Hittinger, and I believe we won't be able to do the regularly scheduled interview. But after that first half, it's definitely been a great game to watch, especially from the Patriots. Jake, I believe you have some stats, points-wise, for each these Patriots players.
Yeah, Lily Weltman has 6 points, as she made those 3 twos off the layups and a couple fast breaks. Obviously, like we said, her great hustle is what her leads her to her great defensive play, and then now her offensive points. And then Kat Lepore, we showed her on both replays earlier in the game, 2 3-pointers from deep. Usually you see her underneath the basket trying to get those rebounds, but now hitting the threes. And then Sarah Park, the leading scorer of the team, with 7 points, 2 twos made, and 1 3. We showed that replay of that 1 3 earlier. Just a great game by the offense. The offense has pretty much been unstoppable, as the Cutters really couldn't hold them couldn't stop them at all on defense at all.
And again, like we've mentioned, for a great first half performance by Wayne Hills over the Fairlawn Cutters. And again, definitely a bit of a weaker team, the Cutters, but again, nonetheless, still, even against a team like that, Wayne Hills performing a lot better than we expected against them in the first half, and holding them to single digits and no points at all in the second quarter. The score again, 24-6. You see the final seconds winding down. A third quarter, around 30 seconds away from starting.
Yeah, and the least amount of points the Cutters scored all season was 29, and only 6 here in the first half. It's going to be hard to obviously break that 29-point mark, so definitely most likely going to be their lowest scoring game of the season. And usually they do allow a decent amount of points, as they have allowed 40-plus points in every single game this season, and that's what has led to all 4 losses they do have. Just look to see them maybe improve on defense. Obviously, they did not have any foul trouble, or they had more turnovers than the Patriots with 6, but they just need to clean it up on offense and defensive side of the ball when it comes to just overall stopping the Patriots.
As the clock is now winding down, we are about to start second half action here at the Gifford Gymnasium here at Wayne Hills High School. This has definitely been a great game to watch here for the studio, and I'm sure there's a lot of good energy coming out of the Patriots players, as they've definitely been happy to have such a great defense that has held this Cutters team to only 6 points right now.
Teams still left in the huddles. Now to break the huddles, and things are soon to start with Sarah Park to inbound. And she inbounds it to Graff to start off the second half. And Graff nearly has that pass stolen from her, but is able to stick with it. And Ty puts up a shot, and it is good. 26-6. Wayne Hills now up by 20 points. Conklin passes to Marks. Now to Duran. And the pass from Violette goes out of bounds. So now we see Fairlawn set to the free throw line with Carly Marks taking 2 free throw shots after the shooting foul. So 1 for 2 there on that one. 24-7. Wayne Hills still has 26-7. Wayne Hills still with a huge lead.
Great pass by Sam Graff to Shannon Ty underneath, putting it right in between 2 Cutter defenders and put it right on the rope to Shannon Ty as she makes that layup.
Now I got a steal from Sam Graff there. Charges to the basket by herself and is able to put in another 2 points for Wayne Hills. 30-7.
Only 1 point has been scored so far for this Cutters team. After the first quarter, only 1 point has been scored. So that's definitely going to have to be stepped up by Fairlawn as they're down by 23 points against the Patriots, who have definitely been dominating this game on both sides of the court.
And they steal now from a bad pass there. Haley Conklin has it, and her pass blocked by Lily Weltman and Sam Graff. Weltman ends up with it, gives it over to Sarah Park, and she puts up yet another 2 points for Wayne Hills, and it's 32-7.
Very easy basket there. I mean, Sarah Park was wide open after that assist from Lily Weltman. I mean, those are two great players on this team, both sides of the court. They really just show off their talent. You know, they just really, there's a lot of chemistry. There's a lot of, they really love getting each and every single player on this team involved in the game. And that's something we've been seeing a lot this season. As, there's a lot of these players on the Hills team that have been getting playing time. And a lot of these players that have been, giving the ball over to each other. The ball movement for this team is definitely one of their strong points.
A big 25-point lead for Wayne Hills in this game. Probably one of their biggest leads they've had the entirety of the season over any team.
Yeah, they scored 6 points coming out of this second half, and they basically already matched the score of Fairlawn, as their offense has basically been unstoppable. Even Lily Weltman, as I said before, my key player, the great defense, stealing that ball away, and that adds to her. She has 6 points total on this game. Now with a huge lead, 32-7 with the Patriots.
Now we see another foul on Wayne Hills once again, and now Fairlawn is set to throw in.
That is the second foul so far this half for the Patriots, and that'll be the fourth on Kat Lepore. She has now officially entered a bit of thin ice here, as she is definitely in some foul trouble, and she's got to play a bit less aggressive. As into this season, she's definitely been a more aggressive player. A lot of blocks, a lot of rebounds, but that's something she's got to watch out for the rest of this game, as she's already at 4 and only 2 away from fouling out.
So we saw a great 3-point shot from Fairlawn, and then a 2-point shot there from Sarah Park, making the score 34-10.
Sarah Park, her 11th point of the game. Definitely shows why she has the most points on this team throughout the whole entire season.
So now we have Sam Graff, who takes the inbound passes to Weltman. To Sarah Park, shot no good. Now rebound from Fairlawn. That's from Pickett. Pass to Conklin. And Conklin tries to get off the shot, but ends up getting fouled by Graff.
So, not even halfway through. That'll be halfway through this third quarter. That'll be the third foul already for the team. And the third foul on the sophomore Shannon Ty, as she has the second most amount of fouls for this team, and she will be taken out for Bree McMullen. And the score right now, Hills is up by 21 points. Now 20, as they are up 34-14.
And the drought from the Cutters not scoring in that whole entire second quarter has come to an end, putting up a pretty good 8 points here.
Jenna Lewis trying to take the shot there.
Yeah, a player like Jenna Lewis, who does not get a lot of playing time, will make those mistakes like traveling just because she's not in the game a lot, not used to the feel of catching the ball and making the first move to dribble, not to just try and run to the basket and make a shot.
Now Sophia Pickett able to get off the past 30 marks, now to Duran. Now back over to Conklin for 3 off the backboard, no good.
Yeah, she'll be fouled there, and you know, the accuracy on that shot after the contact will definitely alter her accuracy, as that one was off like the right corner of the backboard. As you know, I'm sure that was an effect of being fouled, and you know, not a straight up you know, inaccurate mistake, because Ailey Conklin's actually a very good player, as we've seen in this game so far, and she's very unlikely to make mistakes like that.
One of the top scorers for Fairlawn. And we saw that was Weltman's 3rd foul, again tied for 2nd most with fouls for with Ty. And the pass intercepted there from Pickett, and she gets possession back for Fairlawn.
Yeah, the 3rd foul for Weltman will tie her for 2nd with fellow freshman fellow sophomore, Shannon Ty, as the most fouls so far this game has been number 5, Kat Lepore, the senior. An amazing defender, except, you know, just so far this game she's been a little too aggressive on that defensive end.
I'm surprised to still see Weltman in the game with 3 fouls. Usually the coach likes to take their player out, as Weltman is definitely one of the better defenders on this team.
And with a 20-point lead, they don't necessarily need to keep her in either.
Fairlawn retains possession off of the rebound by Hills, but they do end up forcing that jump ball there. A lot of hustle on the from Fairlawn, as we saw much more hustle from Hills, but the Cutters are definitely stepping things up now.
And we see the inbound now to Graff. Back to Park, now back to Graff again. Now Jenna Lewis has it and passes to Bree McMullen. And Graff loses the ball there off the shins of Conklin. Going to be inbounded by Weltman. Lewis passes to McMullen, now back to Lewis again. And Graff charging in. Her shot up, no good.
Yeah, Sam Graff early in the season seemed like she could just make every single layup. Just struggling in the later half of the season now. Just seems to either put the ball up too hard, too slow, and just not having great timing underneath the basket.
Just saw a missed shot there from Fairlawn, and a very clean nothing but net shot there from Weltman, making it 36-14.
Yeah, that's her 8th point of the game, I believe, and she's the leading scorer so far for this Patriots team. Actually, I believe she is right behind Sarah Park.
Yeah, Sarah Park has 11 points total on the game. She has the 4-2s, just like Lily Weltman, just hitting that 3. Help to push the Patriots, just give them a lot of momentum, which is what they have right now.
Weltman, a sophomore and a starter for this team, a very interesting sight, especially in high school basketball. You don't often see, you know, such a young player starting, but it'll definitely be great to watch her in these next 2 years for the Patriots, as she's definitely got some real potential.
My sister Abby Weltman also started as a sophomore. She might have even started as a freshman, actually. But also was an incredible player for the Patriots with her time at the school.
Yeah, there's a lot of you know, sibling duos that have, you know, really thrived here at Wade Hills. A lot of in multiple different sports, whether it's baseball, basketball, or football. I can definitely think of a lot in basketball and football that have definitely been great players, in their respective times. And for the boys team, as of right now, we have two brothers, which is Chester Macarenas and Andre Macarenas, two great players that, that chemistry between them, since they are siblings, definitely helps that team out.
3-point shot missed there from Lewis, but gets the ball back. Was going to try to take another shot, but is fouled before she gets the chance to. Also, another set of siblings on the boys. Actually, both leading scorers for both teams. We have Phillip Park and Sarah Park.
Yeah,
both leading scorers for their respective boys and girls basketball teams.
Yeah, both definitely the best player on each team. Really, just surprising to see from brother and sister, as usually the sister always takes the route of not playing the same sport. But I'm sure they are very competitive between each other. But as Phillip is a senior, but Sarah is only a junior and probably will be taking over the team next year here, becoming a senior, and definitely already the best player as a junior. I'm sure she's only going to get better and better as a senior.
Yeah, we've definitely seen a lot of families come in and out of this Patriots program, and a lot of sports that have definitely been great. As we said before, there's some that are still in the same school together, and there are some that have graduated, and their younger siblings are now here at Wayne Hills High School.
And another 2 points in for Wayne Hills. That makes it 38-14. Now the final minute winding down off the clock. And a shot from Fairlawn makes it 38-16.
Yeah, Jenna Lewis in the game. That's she only has 5 points on the year, as that is her first shot made tonight. But surprising to see her in the game, but she's definitely in the game because of Carolina Poor having her multiple fouls tonight. But a great opportunity for Jenna Lewis to be in the game and see what she could do, as she already has a couple rebounds also.
And now we'll see Joelle Ricky to the line. First shot, no good, and just sort of
Yeah, Jenna Lewis, so far on the season, she had 0 points, but then in the last game against West Milford, she had those 5 points off of two two-pointers and 1 free throw, as she now has another bucket here tonight. She's, I believe, a junior for this team, and she's definitely a great talent that we will see in the next year here at Wayne Hills.
Yeah, similar with Joelle Ricky, she only has 4 points on the year, as she made one of her 2 layups, so that brings her to 5 points total in the year.
Fairlawn driving in. Shot from Alcassian is no good, and that's going to end off the third quarter with a big Wayne Hills lead, 39-16.
Yeah, this is the biggest lead that Hills has had so far, by 23 points. Going into this second half, they were up, I believe, 24-6, which was, at the time, we thought that was very big and possibly the biggest their lead would go. But now they've upped that by 5, as they're showing that, especially against a very talented team against the Cutters, they've held them to only 6 points in that entire first half, all of which coming in that first quarter. And as the fourth quarter is now about to begin, we see if they can continue that trend of keeping the Cutters to a low amount of points scored.
Yeah, Sarah Park, the leading scorer on this team with 11 points, followed by Lily Bowman with 8, and Kat Lepore with 6. Kat Lepore has not been in the game in a while due to her excessive amount of fouls. But even the Patriots still have 5 fouls here in the third quarter alone. Just still, they have not been able to keep it clean on the fouls. Not in the bonus yet is the Cutters, but definitely the highest lead they've had tonight. It definitely doesn't seem like it with the higher score the Cutters do have, scoring 10 points in the third quarter alone, better than their whole entire score in the first half. You just like to see the Cutters have a decent amount of fight, which they have put in the third quarter, and see if they can finish this game out, make it a more close game, to see if they can test the Patriots and see if they get too confident here in the fourth quarter now.
refs are discussing with the coaches for Fairlawn before the huddles break. And now Fairlawn finally makes their way to the court. Patriots coming onto the court as well. And now we see the first shot from Fairlawn missing now. Wayne Hills.
Great save there from Sydney Losario after that rebound. She had it tipped by another Patriots player, and she just got both feet in bounds to save that ball, and she swung it right over as they went on that fast break. Unfortunately, Joelle Ricky was not able to finish that one.
Trying to make the shot there, but again, still can't put up the points. There's Haley Conklin pass to Picer, but she gets it right back. And Picer tried to get the pass over to Callie Connolly, who's checked into the game for the first time and started out the fourth quarter. And a shot from Conklin, no good. Tries to get back the lone rebound, fighting with Ricky for it. Park inbounds to Losario. Gets to Ricky. Ricky able to maintain possession of the ball there. Gets it to Ty, was going to go for the shot. Doesn't take it. Gives it to Losario for a deep two. In and out, but rebounded by Ricky, and her shot no good as well. Rebounded by Losario, and again, can't put up a shot there. And now Fairlawn gets it. Three-point shot from Duran, no good. Wayne Hills rebound.
Yeah, Wayne Hills still staying aggressive, even with this huge 23-point lead. There's no point of stopping the play, as you can still always put up more points. As Joelle Ricky, that's his third points of the game, was almost more than she has all season, as she only has 4 on the season. But with big leads like this, you'd love to get your players that don't get a lot of playing time in, see if they can prove themselves and maybe get more playing time, and even though there's only a couple games left.
See Mia Japan charging in. Shot no good. Gets her own rebound. Tries to get a pass over to Connolly. It goes off the foot of Sarah Park. So now Connolly's going to have to inbound it.
That one was a rebound by senior Amanda Duran, one of the many seniors on this team, as they are made up of mostly seniors, as they have 6 of them on this team, with 3 juniors as well and 1 sophomore, a more experienced, more older, developed team. Similar to your Patriots Wayne Hills, though, they have more juniors than they do seniors on this team.
Ty has it, gets it to Losario, puts up the shot, and it is good. 43-16.
Her first points in the game is Cindy Losario. She missed that deep 2 earlier, but does make that layup after a great dribble move up top and then getting herself open, running past the defender.
3-point shot from Conklin is good. 43-19 now, that makes the score. And Hill still has a 24-point lead here. And Conklin shot no good, rebounded by Jenna Lewis. Goes past Lucido. To Ricky, to Losario now. Pass the tie into Ricky, who charged into the paint and puts up a great shot there. 45-19.
Now, Joelle Ricky with 5 points, more than she does have on the season, bringing her season total up to 9. A great game from Joelle Ricky so far. Getting rebounds also.
Now with that 2-point shot from Amanda Duran, that makes it 45-21.
Patriots' biggest lead of the night was 27 points, now shrunk to 24. Just a great game by the Patriots as they cannot stop scoring on offense.
Jenna Lewis for 3 off the backboard, no good. Rebounded by Ricky, but it's going to end up being a foul on Hills, and Fairlawn's going to take it. And an entire squad switch out for Fairlawn. That player is on now. It's number 1, Romy Shalom. Number 20, Carly Marks. Number 21, Melissa Violette. As well as number 5, Mia Adler. And number 22, Melanie Picer.
Jenna Lewis in this second half has got a lot of great rebounds, and she's shown, as one of the taller players on this team coming into the game. Not a lot of points on the season. She's definitely shown that, there's a lot of intangible, there's a lot of skill that she has that's a bit intangible. Some things that you won't really see on stat charts. That's definitely something great to see in a player, when it comes to hustle and what they really want in each individual game.
Jenna Lewis able to keep it in bounds there, take the shot for herself, no good, rebounded by Malcassian for Fairlawn. It's Malcassian and not Picer, that's my mistake there. Wayne Hills with a substitution. Jenna Lewis out, as well as Cesario. And Sam Graff and Kat Lepore come back into the game here with 2.5 minutes left. McMillan passes to Graff. Gets to Aceto, puts up the shot. Goes off the backboard and in 47-21, a huge lead for Wayne Hills.
Also, Ashley Zito's first points of the night. Ashley Zito does not get much playing time, but she does only have 7 points on the year. So, good to see her total go up now to 9.
Sam Graff has it, gives it to Lepore, now to McMullen.
You see Katarina Lepore now back in the game after being out for almost the whole entire second half.
Graff gives it to Lepore now. And Graff to Ricky, now out with Cito for 3. Overshot there. Kat Lepore tries to keep it in bounds and it goes off her hands, and now Fairlawn will inbound.
That looked like it was out on Fairlawn, but being up by so much, no point of even arguing any calls right now. Basically, this game is over for the Patriots.
Malcassian charging in, loses the ball there. And surprisingly, again, another missed foul call. No travel called there on Malcassian.
It looks like the ball just barely left her hands before she did fall to the floor, and that looked like it was off the foot of a Cutters player, but they're on offense, so there's no kick ball violation there, as that'll just roll out of bounds as it'll go to the Patriots.
3-point shot from McMullen, no good, rebounded by Fairlawn's Romy Shalom. And pass over the head of Connolly. And with that now, Fairlawn has brought in every single player on their roster into the game so far today. McMullen passes to Ricky now, to Graff, and back to McMullen, trying to just take the time off the clock and get this game over. And you can hear people shouting on the bench. And that is going to do it. Wayne Hills winning their final home game of the season, 47-21, doubling the score of the Cutters, and then 5 more. A huge, huge win there.
Yeah, and what a way to go out with the season. I mean, that was a giant win that the Patriots had, and, you know, luckily they were able to end their great season so far for this girls team with a big win over the Fairlawn Cutters. As you said, Luca, they scored more than double the points of Fairlawn there, and I believe, Jake, you have some statistics for us.
Yeah, Sarah Park led the team with 11 points, even though not playing a lot in that second half due to having some of their backups that don't get a lot of playing time playing, and then Lily Weltman with 8. Catalina Poor did not even play that whole second half, still had 6 points. An offensive game that looked pretty easy for the Patriots. They seemed to make every single shot that was attempted, and just an overall great game by the Patriots.
A very big game win. A big win by 26 points, and their final game will be tomorrow. It will be an away game against Northern Highlands, and just like to say, for me, this is my final basketball game as a student here at Wayne Hills. But potentially there could be an alumni comeback. I know some Wayne Hills students, including John Vitas and Adam Lasko, having number 1 hours, even extending his amazing record of hours, coming back after he graduated to do some more games. I potentially could be back, but for basketball, for me, that it's a great way to end it. And as a senior here, couldn't have ended any better with a great game and a huge 26-point win for the Patriots. So for Jake Tallarico and Jason Hook, I have been Luca Iannuzzi, and we will see you next time for maybe another winter sports